City lawmakers are once again raising questions about Buffalo's ability to clear snow and fill potholes.
To talk more about that, right now we are joined by University District Councilman Rashid Wyatt. Thank you very much for coming in this
afternoon.
Thanks
for having me.
Take us inside yesterday's meeting. What are you asking for?
We just wanted to update. I mean, we asked for where we are with the number of fleet of snow plows that we were supposed to have, and we got an update on that and where these other snow plows are. And I know the controller situation has some of those tied up, but we're just trying to see how can we take lemons and make lemonade, because we know that people are looking for a more effective snow plowing removal, and the fact that we don't have as many snow plows as we thought we would have had brought a lot of concern on folks. And then the other thing is the potholes. I mean, that is an issue right now. I know the mayor campaigned on that, so I know he's new into the spot, but I guess people are still looking for us to be more effective in dealing with that. I drove up Elmwood, and
how was that
potholes city, and I drove down Bailey and parts of Kensington, and so we know that right now we can't do a great deal, but we think that something should be done. I know the mayor talked at one of the breakfasts last week, and he talked about the cold patching that they're doing right now. So we want to see some cold patching.
Okay, we'll get to potholes in a second, but let's focus, I guess, maybe on snow plowing and clearing of snow. I mean, from what we hear from our meteorologists, the worst of the winter really has passed us. Mm-hmm. So what else do you want to see in terms of the snow fleets or the snow plan? What else is there really to talk about?
I think, honestly, I'm hoping that our meteorologist is right on point, that we don't have to worry about any more large snow. But we just had a nor'easter, and thank goodness that we missed it. But right where we are, people are looking for more effective snow plowing, snow removal. We've had these conversations for years, especially for our side streets and our dead-end streets. That's been an issue. And so I don't know how to give us a grade right now because we're in a transition, but it wasn't good. I mean, some of the things that we experienced, even as far as the communication, we had a situation where we told people not to move their cars, and that caused a problem because people didn't move their cars, so snowplows couldn't get up the street. So I'm hoping that it's not going to be the same old thing. I'm hoping that this transition is going to breathe new life, and we're going to have a more effective plan. But right now, as we look at next year, we have to get these new snow plows. We have to get make sure that the maintenance of these old ones have been updated, and just make sure that we're in better position next year as far as snow.
Because at the end of the day, it's all about transparency, right?
Absolutely.
It's about that collaboration and that, more importantly, the communication, right? What have you heard specifically from your constituents? Oh,
they're still feeling like this is the same thing. It's not anything that's different, and I'm trying to be fair, because the mayor's just getting to it. He still has his administration to fill out, and we can hope that things will be changed, but we know that, honestly, that wasn't going to happen that quickly. But still, it's a frustration because we've been dealing with this for how many years? And I've been saying this over and over. This is Buffalo. We know snow. This is not Charlotte. This is not Atlanta. This is Buffalo. So we have to get this under wraps, because I don't think that our snow issues should be as broad, maybe minute, but not as broad as what we've seen over the last couple of years.
And to be fair to the second floor of Buffalo City Hall and the mayor's office, he was saying he did an interview with our Dave Graber and Kelsey Anderson, saying that in previous years the city just didn't have certain expertise or didn't have certain equipment, and in terms of the potholes and cold patching, hot patching, all the rest there. So he's trying to address those issues. But moving forward, we know that last year there was an issue with the city not being able to get certain projects done because money and projects were being held up. Is that going to be a problem moving forward when it is time to take care of infrastructure around here?
That's still a big question, because I don't know. We've heard that the governor is going to be giving us $30 million this year, $10 million next year, but we don't know the details on it. We know that the controller's situation, as far as some of the capital projects and some of the equipment that we need, is still kind of being held up. So I'm not totally clear, but we do want more transparency and better communication, because it hasn't been what we would like. But again, this is new, so we're hopeful that it's going to improve. So I can't really answer it clearly, but we know what we've dealt in the past, and I'm really hoping that it's not going to be the same situation with this new administration.
So I know yesterday's meeting, it really was a request for the DPW commissioner and the city's fleet manager to come in. Do you have an idea as to just timing, where things stand right now?
No, I mean, I just know about the equipment that we're anticipating getting. I was surprised that we didn't have the fleet manager come before us. And again, you know, let us know what's going on. You know, I saw a report that maybe the fleet manager has been put in another position. Well, let us know that. We shouldn't find that from the news. And that's the thing that I'm really frustrated about. If that's your decision, we can't tell you what to do, but we did put a fleet manager in place because of the issues we had in the past to make sure that we did have a better sense of what type of equipment we need for police and fire and for DPW. And so for them not doing that, I don't know, but we'll stay tuned and try to make sure that we get the answers that we need.
All right, Councilmember Rashid Wyatt's talking about, you know, issues that are important to
Yes.
people. Of course, the potholes out there, everyone sees them and has to deal with them, so we do appreciate the time.
Thank you.